Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome to the latest S.H MonsterArts video, and we're here for you the Space Godzilla Fukuoka Decisive Battle version. Now this is a premium bundle release in Japan, just arrived today. I think this is the third time Space Godzilla has had a release, so it's actually a pretty old figure or model actually. This is my first version of him, and actually the first time getting my actual hands on the Space Godzilla release in general actually. He's actually pretty expensive on the aftermarket. I started collecting after the last release, which came bundled with Little Godzilla had already come out. I wish I jumped on it when it was cheap, but that thing is, it is expensive. I would love a little bit Godzilla as well, so I'm hoping they do another kind of a decisive battle version, or some other special version for him in the near future. But for now at least we have Space Godzilla with the broken crystals. He's got the lightning for the crystals as well, so we'll take a look at that shortly. On the back, usual selection of images, showcasing the accessories. So that is one thing that is kind of cool about the Decisive Battle versions. Even though they are a re-release of an older figure, they do come with those extra little bit, maybe attacks or accessories for the figures. Not much, but definitely a bit more than your usual release. So let me pop them out of the box and we can check out the actual contents. So we have Space Godzilla here. We've got the two broken crystals and then the lightning just above. So overall pretty straightforward and simple, but it is nice that we do get these accessories. So let's pop them out of the actual clamshell, check them with a turntable, and we can take a look at the overall finish on this version of Space Godzilla. Okay, so as he swings around, if you have the originals, maybe you can give me a bit more of a better idea in the comments as well. But I believe this version has a lot more of a softer, pinkish, pastel tone to the crystals. I've heard a few people commenting that it doesn't quite match up with the movie. I have seen this movie about 3 times. Each time it's kind of been broken up in parts, so my memory is kind of hazy for this one. I don't know why. I love the designs for Space Godzilla and Little Godzilla, but I've always struggled watching this movie. So yeah, definitely let me know in the comments below about the colouring, if it does match up with this particular scene. I need to go find it online again and give it another watch. But anyway, it swings around, lovely shiny colour for that chest and that real dark maroony brown colour. We get the nice kind of pink in the claws on both the hand and feet, which is nice, and it kind of pairs in beautifully with the pink and white for the spine. The whole body has the usual nice grey colour as well, and then we kind of have clear or opaque crystals on his tail there, which is quite cool. So at least all the colouring all the way through is nice, and it does kind of alternate back and forth. So visually speaking, this is a really nice figure to look at actually. And then same when the head was swinging around, he's got lovely colouring on the eyes, again with all the teeth coming around. You have the same pinkish to white colour, and then we have the kind of bronzy amber colour for his horn crystal as well. So really nice on the finish, I feel. Definitely looking really cool. And definitely let me know in the comments below what you think about the finish for this race, especially if you have the others. Is the difference on this one enough for you to grab them? Was there something about this one that really stuck out to you? Actually, one thing to also point out is that maroon colour comes all the way down on the bottom of the tail as well, which is cool. But anyway, let's jump in and check out the articulation. Starting with the head, I found actually overall not much articulation in this figure. I guess it is really old, but we get a bit of a swivel there. Coming up, I found the head does pop off. It does go on easy again, but yeah, I don't know why. The head on mine at least does come off easy, which is a bit of a shame. It does pop on easy, and yeah, okay, move the head forward like that, and then you can reattach, kind of. It's definitely a little bit more fiddly compared to other figures, so that is something to keep in mind. It may just be my release, but maybe it's all of them. If you pick up this one and you have the same issue, definitely let me know. I'm not really sure if it's just because my neck peg is a little bit stiff, it's not quite moving with it. But you can bend all the way down forward, which is cool. Just that the head will come off. You have to play around a little bit to get it attached. One thing that's cool though is that the mouth opens up really wide and looks super cool. Again with a nice dark maroony red brown colour in his mouth. Coming into the shoulders, this is easy. no articulation, fully molded around. If you have the original, I assume this isn't a surprise. I kind of thought there might be a little bit of motion, but it does make sense with the massive crystals there. His arms do swing in and out a little bit, and the elbow joints is actually quite nice. So the arms feel really fluid and a decent range of motion there, especially considering all the molded plastic up and around the shoulder area. Now then, coming into the torso, we get maybe 2 mil of motion forward, a little bit swivel left and right. It does kind of hit on the crystals on the back, so you can kind of force and push it around and it will move, but definitely I feel compared to newer figures the articulation is more limited. Maybe it is showing the age in its mold. Now coming down to the legs, the swivel part is really nice, that is really good, though going in and out it is very limited. We get a couple of mil there. Again, I'm not sure if it's just because mine's really stiff or if it is this mold actually. So let me know if you have the original, if it was the same. But going in and out is super stiff. But at least the swivel part is nice though. Coming into the knee joint is pretty good. And then same for the ankle. It's actually really nice on this one. So a lot of motion there. The upper part will move and come down and cover that joint though. So great range of motion in the knee and ankle. The upper thigh swivel is pretty good, but the in and out motion is definitely limited on this figure, at least on my copy. Again, I'm really curious to know if there is all releases or did I just get unlucky with one that is really stiff. That might loosen up over time the more that I play with it, but at least since it's stiff I don't want to push it too hard at the moment. So let me know in the comments below if you're getting them and if you have the same issue as me. But while I am checking out the articulation, I do want to highlight the awesome detail on the inner area. That is so cool. Lots of sculpting in there. The shiny reflective paint really helps give it kind of like a moist look. Really cool. It does kind of have that real horror type theme, or at least feel is fitted to it, I reckon. So really cool there. So the lightning is super easy. Just slot it on over the crystal. And yeah, now you're done. It looks really cool and pretty effective. I mean, in fact, it does look a little bit cheap and plasticky when looking up close, but you know, once it's on the model, it definitely does work right. And I think the baby sky blue pairs beautifully with the pastel colors. I think if this is more vibrant, it would have looked a little bit odd, but since it is a little more muted, it does kind of pair in pretty well. It does look nice on, I reckon. Now the other option is obviously those broken ones. Now that is easy to switch as well. Just grab the crystal and they will slot off like so, and then you can take the new ones and attach them on top. Okay, now we have the broken crystals on. It's pretty cool. I'm not really sure if it's the way I would go with displaying them. Maybe if I have the others, it could be a good you know, mix to go in with, you know, two of the fully formed crystals. But I think at least for me, I much prefer the formed crystals with the lining. I mean, you can kind of slot this on over top. Does look a little bit weird though, with a broken crystal underneath. But yeah, options. That is one thing that this figure does give, which is nice, especially compared to the majority of MonsterArts releases, which are pretty bare bones, you know, with what you do get. So it is nice that we have options. No. I think for me, I'd definitely be sticking with the fully formed crystals, but definitely let me know in the comments below which one or which look you prefer for this release. Before we jump into the pros and cons, to have the GVK Godzilla, Symmetry Gogan, and the full power Goku from the SH Figuarts line for a size comparison. I know a lot of people jumped into the MonsterArts line from the original, what was it, 2019 King of Monsters and then GVK, and maybe some people are picking up the upcoming GVK2 releases. So the sizing for those is going to be similar to this one. So you can see it's pretty comparable, though the Space Gods are definitely a lot more bulkier. Matches in a lot more for, you know, the suit Godzilla designs, which have a lot more bulk to them, especially in the upper torso, which is something that I definitely love over the more legendary design. However, it does show you a good comparison between the two, and then Gaigan is basically the same height, a little bit taller though, but you know, the overall scaling of them does align, and then same with Goku here, who's obviously 1/12. So if you are new to the MonsterArts line, they generally tend to aim for about this height for most releases. So from each, I guess, movie to movie, they're not really scaled with each other. If they are all released from inside the same movie, then they try to match the scaling, but for the most part they aim for the size, which personally I really like the sizing. It works great for displaying, especially if multiple of them. If I want something really big, then something like the X Plus line or those other alternatives from like Kyoto will be really cool. But personally, I don't have the space, and they are also costly, so I feel like this size definitely works out good for me. But I know some people prefer them a bit bigger. Definitely know in the comments below how you feel about the sizing for the S.H MonsterArts line in general, and same with the Space Godzilla here. Jumping into the pros and cons, and with the pros straight away, aesthetically speaking, I think this is a really nice looking figure. I'm digging the way the colouring is done, the pastel colours with that shiny red maroon colour for the chest that runs all the way down under his tail. The painting for the nails that match in with the spine is really cool, same on the teeth. The eye printing, the face, I think everything there is looking really nice. And from a basic aesthetic standpoint, I think this looks really cool. The effect is nice, though it does look a little bit plasticky, a little bit cheap compared to the rest of the figure. The addition of the broken crystals is cool. Personally, don't think I will use them though, but it is nice to get the options there. Now, into the cons, I think definitely the articulation on this one's a little bit off. Definitely limited in the leg area. The head popping off is a little bit annoying, but from a display purpose, it doesn't hinder it, of course. Just the joint fact of imposing it is a little bit more annoying. However, this is a really old figure, so I'm not really sure how much of that is more due to its age, kind of hitting that point where maybe it's worth retiring this mold and jumping into a brand new design in the future. However, it is great that people get the option to pick up something at retail opposed to paying the high reseller prices for the older releases, because that is one issue with collecting, especially if you're new to collecting. Picking up the old releases can be costly. It can be hard, especially if you live in a region that doesn't get many releases in the first place. So the fact that we do have this as an option for new collectors, and like me, I jumped in the line later, so I didn't have this at all. So being able to pick one up is definitely a huge pro to me. Now hopefully they release a little Godzilla as well. But yeah, that is it overall. Not disappointed with this release. It's nice, but it doesn't really excite me like a lot of the more recent releases, like the 72 Godzilla, I think last month, which was really cool. And the Guy gun is amazing. Definitely a lot more excitement from this. So yeah, that's cool. It's gonna have a place in my collection. Definitely looks cool and menacing. But I don't know why, I just felt a little bit more lackluster with this one. But I'm curious to know what everyone else thinks, so be sure to leave lots of comments below. If you enjoyed the review, please do like and subscribe, and share it around as well with other people. It definitely helps the channel. And yeah, that is it for the video. So again, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, cheers!